Every great creative work stands on the shoulders of giants. Welcome to RetroInspection, where we examine and find out where the things we love today came from.
So, what are we going to talk about today?
Today we are talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is, always forget the year. It was, of course, 1897. It is the vampire, for 20th and 21st century purposes, it is the vampire novel. It is the wellspring from which pretty much all subsequent vampire fiction is drawn. It sets the conventions of the genre, the conventions of vampire characters, and while there are people who do deviate from it, it's not wholly universal. But basically, everybody who writes about vampires in fiction, TV, film, whatever, writes about this kind of vampire, this sort of Eastern European jerk.
So, Bram Stoker was the author.
Yep.
What do we know of him?
He spent a lot of his life as a theatrical agent and as a theater manager. He did that for decades while writing. He had some modest success writing, but Dracula is really the thing that kind of pushes him over the edge.
Oh, you mean as a writer, as a
writer, right?
writer.
And he never got there again. Everything after that, there's significant fall off. I mean, stuff like She and Lair of the White Worm and that sort of
right,
thing.
Which was made into a film by
Ken Russell.
Ken Russell
with Amanda Donahoe, I feel like, is the main monster person in that. I remember the video at town. I watched it at one time, and
was that?
I'm not a Ken Russell person.
No. Did he do a thief, a cook, the thief, the wife, and her lover? I think he did.
Did he? I don't know. You want me to check?
No.
He did Liz to Mania. He may have done that werewolf movie with Oliver Reed. I could not tell you. Yeah, right. I couldn't tell you what the hell that was called. But casting Oliver Reed as a werewolf is not a real stretch.
So Stoker started off his life. He was born in the middle 1800s in Ireland.
Yeah.
His father, I think, was Anglo-Irish. So there's some loyalty that he had to the crown. His mother was Irish, and he spent much of his early life, as so many of these authors do, who was the author of Dr. Jekyll?
No, Robert Louis Stevenson.
He was also bedridden as a child, and so was Bram Stoker.
And Samuel Johnson.
Right. So we don't know what the illness was. Apparently, it could have been anything back in the day.
What I'm looking at doesn't say.
Yeah,
it's termed unknown illness. I mean, Jesus Christ, we're talking about the 1850s. It could have just been, bad air or an imbalance of. No, I'm totally serious. An imbalance of bodily humors, right?
Yeah.
You have too much lymph.
Well, listen, we don't want to decry their medical expertise, because in 100 years, who knows what people will think of them.
Yeah, I mean, they were maybe 200 years from thinking there was a possessed frog in your stomach.
Right. Well, listen, he was not sickly forever. He became
he got better.
Yeah, he became a college athlete. He went to Trinity College, where he graduated, I believe, in some scientific degree. With some
Honors in mathematics is what I'm seeing.
math. Okay.
His classmate, also a native Dubliner, Oscar Wilde, who we may circle back to in a minute.
Right. He became an Irish civil servant, which following in his father's tradition. But he loved the theater, and he was a theater critic.
Yep.
And that's how I believe he became known to Sir Henry Irving, who was the Robert De Niro of his day.
Right, one of the preeminent actors of the era.
Yeah, and I think he might have. I think the legend goes he maybe have written a poor review of him, and then wrote a very glowing review of him, and somehow got in Irving's good graces.
This has gone into in some detail. A book that I read along with this is David J. Scowl's Hollywood Gothic, and it goes a lot into their relationship. And Irving is like almost a cartoonish stereotype of a prima donna actor. So this is a guy that you constantly had to curry favor with, to flatter, to maintain good, because he had such a what they call a mercurial temperament, which is to say he was an asshole. And he just would unload all the time. Stoker spent decades, basically as a kind of a receptacle for this guy's abuse. And when the guy dies, Stoker gets screwed in the estate. Like this guy had a decent estate. He left Stoker like nothing, essentially. Certainly nothing in money terms. I think there were a few mementos that got willed to Stoker.
And Stoker was known for managing the Lyceum Theater, which is what Irving bought and then owned after a time. And it was apparently poorly managed by Irving until Stoker took it over. And Stoker was this apparently quite a good agent and manager for him.
For decades.
And booked him in the United States, where apparently he became friendly with presidents. I think a couple presidents.
McKinley and Roosevelt.
Yeah. So Stoker was well known before Dracula was published. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I mean, within a certain world, yeah, but also, like I said, as a fiction writer. Like I said, not a terribly successful one.
He had done some poetry, maybe, and some short story before Dracula. Is that correct?
Yeah. He had also the first one. It looks like 1890, The Snake's Pass. I don't know what that. Yeah, that is about. Oh, it's about the legend of St. Patrick.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah.
Well, there's this Irish ancestry for me.
Right, exactly.
Like, subscribe, repost, share everywhere. To see what else we're up to, visit xynobooks.com, xenobooks.com.